Okay, so our goal for a whole day is what, 30 groups a day, right? So 30 groups a day, if you post into, is how many a week, right? So that's what, 150, 30 a day, and we do 5 days a week. That's 150 groups. So that's 150 different groups. So that should be your goal when joining these groups. You want to get into 150. Once you've reached that 150 mark, now you're going to have a monthly cycle. Okay. So you're posting to all 150 for that week, right? And then the next week, what you'll do, you'll repost to those 150. What's going to happen throughout that week, you'll be like, well, why can't we post the same group a week? Well, it's better to bump, okay, and create engagement with that and keep bumping it up than creating new ads. um, One, because Facebook will notice that you're creating the same ad over and over and posting in the same places, and they will flag it as spam. Okay, they'll first decentralize your engagement. I've noticed what will happen is they'll notice it's kind of spamish. If you've posted it multiple times, they won't show it to as many people. Okay, that's another reason why it's important to continuously be updating and changing your ads, right? Okay, we want to always be standing out. We want to always be creating something that's grabbing attention, right? And what else is going to happen throughout the week and throughout the month total through them 150 groups? You're going to have some, and you'll have to look at Marketplace, the ones that have flagged you. Okay, you won't necessarily get blocked for a couple violations. I wouldn't go over 2 violations a week. If you hit your 2 violations and it's the middle of the week, post sparingly to groups that you know are not flagging you. Okay, and then boom, once the next week comes in, then it's back to business as usual. But you want to get those groups that are flagging you out. You either want to contact the admin, tell them about what you're doing, see if they'll approve you doing it, or you would just want to step out and leave the situation and start joining new groups. And that's when the search begins again, because we want to keep it that 150 mark, at least to begin with. We could push this thing a little more if we want, but in the beginning, and especially for your first few months, you don't want to push past this. We want to create a pattern that looks lifelike, human-like as possible, especially if you're using automation. You don't want it to look like it's automation. That's the key. That's why people get tagged. One, they get tagged because somebody logs into their account from a different location. Facebook is not dumb. They know that somebody else is logging into your account. They also see that they're posting ads, and boom, they block the account, right? So what we figured out that a way around that as well in the automation, and that is through remote access. That is the best, top choice, period, hands down. I mean, I have examined every route possible, but the best way is to remotely have your VA remotely access your work computer that you're using to post on Facebook or to do your odds and ends, your data entry, whatever it is that they're doing. Make sure they're protected on the back end on their side with a VPN so nobody can follow them in. And then just give them they'll do. They'll access your public IP address, not your personal IP on your router, but your public, and they can get access that way. You will have to use port forwarding for this to work as well. Okay, but there's some software out there that can set it up for you, and you can do it that way, and that's easier. Or you can do it yourself if you have a Windows 10 Pro computer or better. The person that's accessing the computer needs a Windows 10 Pro. Just keep a note of that. All right. But back to this. So throughout the course of the month, we're going to start removing, right, groups, and we're going to start adding groups in replace of the ones that we removed, and just keep track. If you minimize how many groups you're in, you just get in the groups that you need, that you're using, you'll find that it's much more manageable. And I'm one to talk, believe me, because I'm in all kinds of groups and most of them I don't use, but I'm going through and I'm doing a filtering process myself now. There's an ad in this one already. Okay, that's perfect. So go ahead, get in there. Remember, 150 groups is the goal. Reach that 150. We want to filter through All the groups that aren't working, replace them with groups that ain't, and keep it on a rotation. Be bumping through the week with, hey, still looking. Provide status updates in the comments. And remember, link up with some people in the network. A lot of y'all are great, and there's a lot of great people in the network that don't mind, adding some engagement to your ads. You can add some to theirs. It's a win-win situation for everybody. Let's do it, y'all. The teamwork makes the dream work.